When you hear the Jeep name, you think of off-road capability. You think of people who are scaling mountains and going off the beaten path. In Jeep's 78-year history, not much has changed from that ideal. Today we're looking at the 2021 Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk and why it's a great vehicle on-road and off-road. So let's dive into this review and see all the cool capabilities that this vehicle has. The Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk Edition is a great balance between on-road and off-road capabilities. It may not have the same pedigree, say, as a Wrangler, but compared to other SUVs in this class, it is more than capable of going off the beaten path. The Trailhawk Edition gives us some underpinnings and different suspension components that allows this to happen. So guys, I'm Devin from the Hickman Automotive Group, and let's dive into this Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk Edition to see all the cool features this vehicle has. The Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk Edition takes all of Jeep's knowledge dating back from 1943 to turn this everyday SUV into a true off-road monster. You may wonder what the Trailhawk Edition means for a Cherokee. Now there's some history behind that badging, so let's explain it. Jeep has been known for over 70 years for making highly capable SUVs that could tackle any terrain on Earth. But Jeep has also made models for everyday drivers that require a little bit of off-road capabilities, but not much. However, owners of these road-ready Jeep models want a taste of off-road confidence that Jeep brand was known for. Enter the Trailhawk nameplate. The Trailhawk nameplate came in effect in 2004, with Jeep's definition calling it a trail-rated tough, meaning normal models of Jeep products got different testing and underpinnings and suspension work to make sure they were off-road capable. The different tests that Jeep would run on a Trailhawk Edition compared to others would not be limited to traction, ground clearance, maneuverability, articulation from the wheels, and water forging, plus a lot more. So with all that said, let's talk about the Trailhawk and what improvements it makes to the Cherokee. Up front we have a more aggressive look and stance, starting off with the blacked out grille inserts flanked by our headlights with more black trim inside. We have a characteristic LED daytime running light, and on the Cherokee Trailhawk we will find a lot of black plastic cladding around the lower side of the vehicle that wraps all the way around. The black cladding really pops against this hydro blue pearl color. We have two off-road tow hooks painted in red to give you a more sporty off-road feel. A notable thing about the Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk Edition is that the cladding on the sides around your wheel arches are actually flared out more than competitors or even other Cherokee models. That way you can know that your paint work and body work is protected when you're going off-road. It's a small touch that Jeep has offered, but it makes all the world of difference. The body sits on 17-inch black aluminum off-road rated rims and tires. And of course we have our Jeep Cherokee badging in black and our trail rated seal of approval we mentioned earlier. We move to the rear of the vehicle, you'll find more black cladding. We have a unique tail light design with LEDs, another red tow hook for when you're deep in the backcountry and might need it. And the last highlight to the exterior is the integration of the black roof rails, which is pre-installed from the factory, allowing the owners to carry even more beyond the interior limitations of the Cherokee, a feature not installed on other trim levels. Finishing the overall looks of the exterior of the Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk Edition, I think it's one of the best looking subcompact SUVs on the market right now. Jeep's designers were able to take an SUV, which are usually just a box shape, and make it look more sporty, especially with the red accents that you find on the tow hooks, all the black trimming, and especially in this blue color. Now, it's definitely not a vehicle if you're gonna blend into traffic with this color. You can also get it in other colors, say as black, but you still get the red tow hooks to give you that little sporty vibe when you're driving down the road. Now let's get into some technical specs about this Cherokee. First up, engine options. In other trims of the Cherokee, you have a choice between a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine or a 3.2-liter V6. However, in the Trailhawk trim, that decision is already made for you, with Jeep favoring the 3.2-liter V6, which delivers us 271 horsepower and 239 foot-pounds of torque, which allows the Cherokee to tow a maximum of 2,000 pounds, which is great for a vehicle of this class. All right, so we mentioned that the Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk Edition is a great off-road and on-road balance. Now, to be a balance of both, I truly believe the interior has to be super comfortable with a lot of good features. So let's dive in and see all the features that we can find in the interior. All right, so we're inside the Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk Edition. All right, right, so we're done with the outside right now. It's nice and cold out because it is winter, so I'm inside the Jeep Cherokee and I cannot be happier because I have my heated steering wheel on, my heated seat is on. So as I defrost, let's talk about all the features that you can find within the Jeep Cherokee. So up front we have this large 8.4-inch touch display where almost all our controls live. We have our media control, climate, apps, and other settings. And of course we have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. If we move down, we have some more direct climate controls, which are also controllable from the screen above. We will find buttons for our start stop, on and off, which is a feature that allows your engine to shut off during idle and save gas, and will restart as soon as you take your foot off the brake. Some drivers love it and some others don't. I'm not a huge fan of that feature, but it's a really nice option that Jeep gives you that you're able to turn it off if you don't like it. Next to our start stop button, we have a screen off and a mute button for turning off the screen and obviously muting your audio, which is great to have a dedicated button for that. We also have our traction control on and off switch. If we move down to the center stack, we will find a traditional gear lever, which we can manual shift from if we pull it all the way down. We also, ahead of that, have a USB, an aux cord, and a 12-volt input. Off to the left of that is the most important part that we can find in a Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk. We have our mode selection. So we have an auto, snow, sport, sand and mud, and a rock mode, depending on what off-road condition you're on or even what you might find on the pavement. Included in that, we have a four-wheel drive low mode, a decelerating downhill mode, and two other off-road options, which are a great feature to have in this class of vehicle. If we move to the glove box, we'll find an extra USB and a lot of storage. We also have two sizable cup holders right in the front, a sizable spot for your phone, and up front as well. Also on the passenger side, you have this little mesh here that you can hold any other belongings you may have. All right, let's talk about the materials in here. All the materials in here are a nice soft leather or plastic material. It feels very premium. We have red stitching throughout to tie into the red tow hooks that we have outside for that sporty feel. If we talk about the seats, they are heated as mentioned before. They are leather wrapped and they are some of the most comfortable seats that I have found in an SUV of this class. They have Trailhawk badging stitched into them up top. They are also ventilated, so in those summer months and in your off-roading, you can also cool your seat down instead of having it heated. It's a huge option to have in a vehicle like this. If we move on to the steering wheel, we will find this meaty leather wrapped steering wheel with audio controls, with our track next and volume up and down on the back. On our left side, we have our menu controls along with our phone inputs, and on the right side, we have all our cruise control settings. Ahead of the steering wheel, we have two analog gauges, one showing our RPMs and the other one showing our speed. Now in the center as well, we have a curved display that matches into the dash seamlessly, which is beautiful. It gives us our range, speedometer, anything else that we want up there. It's a great, awesome feature to have. It's super crisp, super bright, and the animations are gorgeous for it. Also, a cool feature to note in the Jeep Cherokee is that even though we have a sunglasses holder up top here, we also have this other cubby right here for additional sunglasses or anything else that you might want to store away. All right, that covers all the features that we will find up here in the Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk Edition. So let's hop to the back seats, talk about some legroom, cargo capabilities of this vehicle before we hit the road. Here we are in the back seat now of the Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk Edition. Now back here, the seats are just as nice and comfortable as they are in the front. They are leather wrapped with the red stitching, once again, to tie into the front, and all the red accents for the sporty feel. It's great. We also have some red stitching right here in the doors. It's a great spot to be. Now I'm sat behind myself, which is almost a 6-foot driver. I have a little bit of leg room here. The seats are concave, which is a nice feature to have to give you that little extra room. Both seats have storage in each side. Now the seats back here, like I said, are super comfortable, but they are not heated. That's okay because we do have our own dedicated heating system back here with vents, which is a great feature. We also have a 12-volt input, and we have a USB and a USB-C for both passengers back here. In the center here, we do have a fold-down stack for armrest with two cup holders, which is a great feature to have. So with the back seats of the Cherokee up like this in the seated position, the back of cargo space is now 27.6 cubic feet, which is great for this class of vehicle. Now we do have 60/40 folding seats, so these seats can fold flat down, giving you a 54.7 cubic feet of volume. Now don't forget also, if you get the accessory package, you can also put onto the roof rails that are pre-installed to have even more cargo space. Regardless of what your trip is, you should be covered with lots of cargo space for whatever the adventure. All right, so here we are on the road. We are on a dirt road with some potholes and stuff. We're not taking it too seriously here today, but the Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk Edition is more than capable, as we said, of handling any off-road situation with the all-wheel drive and the 5 drive modes that you do have, including with the hill assist and everything else that it has. It's a fantastic vehicle. If you're a little bit of a adventurer and want to go off-road, you have full confidence that this vehicle can do it for you. Like I said, the seats are super comfortable for when you're going over all these potholes and stuff, making the car extra dirty, which is always a fun thing to do. The ground clearance is fantastic. I don't feel any problems with bottoming out, no matter how big the bumps are at all. As you can see, it's a fantastic vehicle to drive, super comfortable. Now, with the driving characteristics, we do have some safety technology in here as well. So we have blind spot monitoring, we have a forward collision system and cruise control and all that fun stuff, which is great for when you're on the tarmac. But off-road, it comes with a full fleet of features, which we already talked about. With Jeep's experience for over 70 years making off-road vehicles, their 4-wheel drive is fantastic, and that still holds true today. There's no lack of confidence. I have full capability that this could handle any situation, especially with the drive modes that we have. Super comfortable, and especially with the 3.2 liter V6 that we have up front towing us along. I have no lack of power. I feel the grunt of the engine just pull me along over anything that I might fear. That goes for off-road and including when I'm merging onto the highway or anything like this. It's just an all-around great vehicle to drive, great feeling comfortable vehicle if you want to be adventurous off-road, but also need a grocery getter day to day. All right guys, so we hit the end of the trail here. We are turning back onto some solid pavement. Oh, what a nice feeling it is, I must say. Although the Jeep is super comfortable off-road, it is just as comfortable on-road. I'm happy to be back on some tarmac. So let's end off this review of the 2021 Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk. So guys, what's your favorite feature? Let us know down below. If you like this review, make sure you like the video and subscribe to our channels. We have many videos coming. So all right guys, I'm Devin from the Hickman Automotive Group, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.